Welcome to Onslow County Today. I'm your host, Lisa Whitman-Grice, and we have some wonderful guests joining us today with lots of ways that you can spend your holiday season, giving of yourselves, giving of your time, or helping others in need. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Onslow County Today. Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is one of our favorite Onslow County Today friends, Lisa Ryder with Onslow County Solid Waste. So glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
You know, always when we say this, I learn something new every time you're here. And off camera, we were talking history, so I learned something new again today. But we want to talk about recycling and reduction of waste in the holiday season when it seems like there's always just more of everything. So the first thing we want to really talk about is, let's begin with kind of the centerpiece, the tree.
Sure. So as you mentioned history, so there's a big history related to recycling and the holidays. So we talk about the tree and a holiday tree and whether or not we want to buy a fresh tree or a potted tree or something that we can reuse throughout the year. And there's no real simple answer to which one's going to be better, because they all have their own, sort of way that you can reduce waste with the trees. So of course, with a reusable tree, you can reuse it year after year, and then you can donate it when you're done with it. A cut tree, is something that you can buy locally and support local businesses, and you can then recycle it afterwards. There are a couple of ways to recycle a cut tree. One of them is to bring them to our facilities that accept cut trees, and there are also some community organizations that will collect the trees to use for dune stabilization, and so we'll have that on our website when it's available. And also with potted trees, you can also buy a potted native cedar tree and then plant it in your yard after you're done with it after the holidays.
So really it's about making the choice that works best for your household.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got the tree. Then of course it's time to go shopping and get all those great gifts for everybody. So what are your tips?
Okay, so first of all, we'll start with the way we're carrying our consumer goods out, and that means bag types. So we've talked about this before with reducing our waste and reusing items, and so bringing your own reusable bag is the first and foremost preferred method. No matter if you're buying shoes, if you're buying clothes, or if you're buying groceries, bringing your own reusable bag is the first and most acceptable way of reducing that type of waste. But also, if you are taking plastic bags when you go to a retail store, there is a proper way to recycle those items. And they are technically recyclable, but they're not recyclable in a traditional recycling way. And by that I mean you can't put them in your curbside recycling waste, and you can't take them to a convenience center site and recycle them there commingled with the rest of your materials. So the preferred method for recycling plastic bags is to take it back to the retail store in which you got them. And there are several retail stores in Onslow County that will accept them for recycling, and we'll have those listed on a link on our website as well.
Okay, and a lot of retailers now are offering special incentives for using the reusable bags, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Okay, so discounts sometimes, just little ways of saying thank you for not using plastic.
Absolutely. So with plastic bags, it's not just a environmental issue, it's also a economic issue. So it costs money for retail stores to buy these plastic bags, and so you as the consumer buying products from a retail store are eventually paying the cost of these plastic bags. So the more you can reduce the amount of plastic bags that are given out, you can eventually reduce the cost of your products. And there are stores that are offering a discount, change back for the bags that you bring, and the same goes for a lot of coffee shops now. If you bring your own reusable mug, you pay less than if you're taking their cup.
Excellent. So we've shopped. Now it's time to wrap. What do you think?
So there are ways to reuse, and you can use reusable gift bags. And I really like to wrap my gifts sometimes in the reusable shopping totes, and that way, you have it's like 2 gifts in one. So now you have you've put it in a reusable tote. So now not only do they get the gift in the reusable tote, but they also have a reusable tote that then they can use when they go shopping. But there are reusable gift bags that can be reused throughout the years. And also, if you are to wrap, I recommend either recycled paper or a type of paper that you can then recycle afterwards.
Okay, so be creative in your wrapping choices.
Absolutely.
So that you're not just piling it all up and stuffing it in a bigger bag to put into your rollaway cart there. We've got our presents, we've got them all wrapped. Now it's time for the big festive meal, and that might mean lots of food waste or oil. So what do you advise there?
So with waste reduction, when you have a big meal or you're entertaining, I highly recommend using your real plates and real cloth napkins and real decorations that you're using throughout the year. Not only does it look nicer, but it's something that you can wash and reuse and it doesn't become waste. When it comes to cooking oil, you can recycle your cooking oil. We highly recommend that you recycle cooking oil. It's free to recycle. You can bring it in the original container or properly labeled container and drop it off at any of our convenience center sites, and we'll recycle it for you.
Well, you mentioned containers, and I think that that's the last thing, because as much as we like to eat during the holidays, there are always leftovers, lots of sending things home with people, and I know the bane of your existence is a styrofoam takeaway carton. So what should we do?
So styrofoam is not recyclable. And so we recommend that if you're taking things from a restaurant, if you're taking things from a holiday meal to eat later, to put it in a container that's going to be reused afterwards. So I recommend glass, aluminum, and even with aluminum foil and pie pans and things like that, those are also recyclable as well. So they do get a second life. But certainly glass and glass containers that you can reuse over and over again are preferred.
Well, we've sped through the holidays, we've put up a tree, we've had a great meal, we've exchanged presents, and now it's time to clean up. And what about the leftover mess, like the lights that went out? What do you recommend there, Lisa?
So Christmas lights, when you're planning to put up your tree and you have found this tangled mess of lights and half of them work and half of them don't work, the proper method is that you can recycle those as well. So instead of putting them, again, like plastic bags, instead of putting them at your curb with your regular recycling, you should handle them in a different way. So with any type of electronics, so anything that takes a battery, has a cord, anything like that, you can recycle, and you can recycle them at any of our drop-off sites. So you can recycle Christmas lights with your electronics. And the same thing goes at the end of the year. If you have taken your tree down and half of them work and half of them don't, take the ones that don't work and we can recycle them for you.
Excellent. Well, Lisa, even though we all really want a white Christmas, you're really telling us how to have a green Christmas, aren't you?
Absolutely, and green in more ways than one. So like I always say, it's not just an environmental issue, it's an economic issue. We can always save money by being green.
Well, excellent. Lisa Ryder, as always, thanks for being here, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and if you're wondering what to do when the weather is cold outside, Karen Moore is here with the Onslow County Public Library with lots of awesome ideas. Karen, welcome back.
Thanks, good to be here.
Now, it's getting chilly. The holidays are exciting, but then the winter sets in. But you guys are not going to let us get bored. You're not going to let us get the winter blues. You've got too much going on. And so we want to talk about what's going on at our libraries this winter. And we're going to start with Pajama Rama.
Right. We always kick off the winter with our Pajama Rama parties to kick off the holidays. It's our 7th annual Pajama Rama, always a big hit. It's for the entire family, all ages. Everyone's encouraged to come out and wear their pajamas if they would like. Lots of fun crafts and refreshments and games. just lots of things to do. These are special events for us because these are special after hours events.
Right.
So you can come in after the library is closed, and we use the whole library for the festivities, so it's a lot of fun.
And we should wear our pajamas.
You should.
You should wear your pajamas. Now, this is at all 4 branches.
It is.
Maine, Swansboro, Sneads Ferry, and Richlands, all on different nights?
They, some are, we have Jacksonville on December 2nd. We have Richlands and Swansboro on the 9th, and actually Sneads Ferry is also on the 2nd.
Okay.
And they're all at 7 o'clock from 7 until 8:30.
And the best thing, the fee?
Oh, always free.
Always free.
Always free.
Okay, so we've got on our PJs and we're going to Pajama Rama, and then we kind of get into, you know, just some serious learning going on at the library this winter. What are some of the activities that you have for our adults?
Well, we have a lot of things going on. We have Veterans Employment Assistance. NC Works comes out. In Jacksonville, they're at our branch every Friday.
Okay.
From 12 to 3. And they're also at our other branches, Richlands, Sneads Ferry, and Swansboro. Richlands and Sneads Ferry, they're there on Wednesdays from 1 to 4.
Okay.
And in Swansboro, they are there from Monday from 1 to 4. A really great opportunity to come out if you're looking for employment or want some general career advice. Come out and talk to the NC Works specialist, and they're happy to help you with job searches, job matches. It is specifically geared for veterans or families of veterans, but certainly anyone is welcome to take advantage of that opportunity.
Excellent. And this is, you're partnering with NC Works?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. And then you've got a program going on with Legal Aid from North Carolina.
We do. This is brand new for us. We've been doing this a couple of months now. We've been really excited about it. Terrific way for people to get some legal aid, free legal aid. A lot of libraries in North Carolina participate in this. Legal Aid of North Carolina actually provides free video tutorials and webinars for some sort of hot legal topics. So we talk about child custody and visitation. We talk about simple divorce. We also talk about healthcare power of attorney and living wills.
Okay.
So we randomly have these video clinics available. So people are encouraged, you can always call us, of course, to get information about that. Or preferably, or in addition to, you can go on the Legal Aid of North Carolina website.
Okay.
And you can actually register for those right there on their website. And when you come in, you'll not only get that webinar, but you'll also get a free legal packet with a lot of the essential forms.
Oh, fantastic. Really providing folks with some vital information, something that can be quite costly.
Right.
You all are providing this access to this information. That's outstanding. Now, also to kind of turn things around a little bit, you've got game night.
Right.
And look, I'm next door neighbors to the Richlands Library, so I hear all the fun that's going on in that room on game night. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, we have been hosting game night for adults, teens, that age range for a few months now at all our library locations. But we stumbled on a really exciting and fun partnership with Second and Charles now.
Okay.
And so each Wednesday night from 6 to 8, you can stop in at Second and Charles, and we have a table set up, and we have lots of board games, card games to choose from. Just a nice way to take a midweek break and relax.
Awesome, awesome. A fun way, and bringing back the whole idea of just family game night.
Right.
Exactly. Now, then it's wintertime. The holidays are over. It's cold. The sun sets earlier. We want something to do. And you all are bringing to us a winter reading program. Tell us about that.
We are. Our summer reading programs are always amazing and very busy and lots of fun. So we didn't want to lose that momentum over the winter. Encourage everyone to keep reading. So For the winter reading program, it's basically very, very simple. The whole family can participate. Basically just read 3 books or have 3 books read to you. That also includes anything that you might listen to on audiobook or digital download format, and just recording those 3 reads, bringing your recording of those 3, your log with those 3 books that you've read or listened to, and then you can participate in a fun afternoon of just kind of socializing and enjoying some hot chocolate and some refreshments at the library.
You know, and on a cold winter's night, there's nothing more fun than to read something set in the tropics. That way we're not so cold, right?
Right,
So-
exactly. And it's a fun way to get lots of reading suggestions from other people, and just something to bring the whole family together.
Awesome. Well, Karen, again, you guys are always busy at every branch. There is always something going on, and it's energizing to see all the cool things that you're doing.
Thanks.
Now, if people want to know more, if they want to check out your website, go to your Facebook, Instagram,
Yes.
Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and then they can just call, right?
Absolutely. Lots of different ways to contact us. Drop in anytime or give us a call.
All right. Well, Karen Moore, it is always great to have you here and get inspired by what you guys have got going on. Happy holidays to you and everybody there.
Thank you. You as well.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today. It's said that it's better to give than to receive, and Carolyn Dunlap is here with Onslow County DSS to give us all that opportunity to be givers. Carolyn, we're so glad you're here. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are here today to talk about the Onslow County DSS Angel Tree Program, and that is something that many of us are familiar with. But we're so glad that you're going to be able to tell us about it and how we can all give and help. So first things first,
Okay.
tell us, what is Angel Tree?
The Angel Tree program was actually created by a former social worker by the name of Sheila Gibson. Sheila had a vision to make sure that every child in foster care received a gift for Christmas. And so far, the program has been a huge success.
Now, you're talking about when you say every child, from babies?
From babies to teenagers up to the age of 17.
You know, that's the one thing we always tend to focus on the holiday season, on those kind of iddles, the little bitties, but teenagers like a visit from
Yes.
Santa
Yes,
as well, don't
yes.
they? So let's talk about how we can give. The program was created by Sheila to make sure that not a child was left behind in the foster care program.
Yes.
And so how can we help?
We pretty much partner with all of the community local businesses as well as the community agencies. We have trees this year located at Jacksonville Mall, Onslow Fitness Center, Planet Fitness, and Converges.
Okay.
We also have other agencies in Onslow County that have partnered with us too to sponsor a child. The child welfare social workers collect the wish lists of many foster children in the Onslow County foster care system, and they will place angels on each one of these Christmas trees.
Mm-hmm. And then once the trees are placed there, how can we in the community then take a part when we see those angels hanging there?
The community can take a big part in selecting one of those angels from the Christmas tree.
Okay. And when we select the tree, what are we responsible for? We purchase the gifts that are on the list?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Once the gifts are purchased, we're asking that the gifts return to the Onslow County Department of Social Services
Okay.
location in New River Shopping Center.
Okay. Do we wrap the gifts, or do we just bring them in the bags and then attach the angel to it? How do you prefer that we do that?
Just bring the gifts in the bag.
Okay. Okay, and then you all take care of the wrapping?
Yes, we will take care of the rest.
These angel trees, and we've seen them in the community. Can you speak to the difference that these angels have made in the lives of these children who are in foster care?
A huge difference. When a child wakes up on the Christmas morning and they see the gifts under the tree, it brings a big smile to their face. They're very happy. Some people think that teenagers aren't really invested, but they are. So we're really hoping that this year will be a big, huge success also.
Carolyn, do you know, or do we have kind of an idea, can you share the number of children in Onslow County that are in the foster care system?
We have 269 children in the Onslow County foster care system.
And these are children who are both fostered for eventual return to home as well as fostered to adopt?
Yes.
So again, the number 269 you said?
269.
All ages from 0
to 17.
0 to 17.
Yes.
On the list, you know, it's like when we sit on, you know, a child sits on Santa's lap and makes that wish. Is it a mix of things from the practical to the fun, or is it, I mean, when you've seen the wish list that children are asking for, what sort of things might we see on those angels?
Oh, there's a variety of things. The teenagers are mostly asking for electronics, clothes. The younger children are asking for various toys, clothes. So it's pretty much a variety of things.
Now, what about timing? I see the angel hanging, you know, in the community. I select the angel, I do my shopping, and then I prepare to take it to DSS. What are the deadlines that we need to get things to your offices there?
We're asking that all gifts are returned by December 6th.
Okay, December 6th. Now, we talk about this being the season of giving, but are there ways that we can help DSS and help children who are in the foster system beyond the angel trees throughout the rest of the year?
Yes.
Okay, what are some, I mean, are there things that we can maybe provide gift cards or things throughout the year?
Gift cards can be provided also,
Okay.
yes.
So gift cards, making sure we get our angels, making sure we get them back to your office by December the 6th.
Yes.
And what about the response that maybe you have had from your foster families or the kids afterwards? Do you all get any feedback? Do you hear from the families a little bit?
They're really excited, and very appreciative about receiving the gifts for Christmas. So it's really a big way to help.
Well, I appreciate what you all have done. You know, for many years we've talked about the role that DSS plays in helping these children have forever families and assisting foster children who might not have an otherwise happy, merry holiday season. So thank you for that. As we close out, what is the best way, Carolyn, for our viewers who might have questions, who want to help, not just in the holiday season, but throughout the year, what's the best number that they can reach you?
My office number is 219-1816.
Okay. Well, Carolyn Dunlap, thank you so much. And
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for being an angel
Thank
in
you.
your own way.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is Harry Smith, Onslow County Tax Administrator. Harry, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
As we are winding up 2016, there are lots of things that we all have on our mind, but you are here to remind us a little bit of those practical things, those things that we need to take care of, a little housekeeping, and that is, of course, tax listings, tax deadlines, and things of that nature. So let's begin first with collections and tax deadlines.
Okay, sure. Our annual tax bills are mailed out around the end of July each year. They're technically due September 1st, but they do not become delinquent until January 6th of the following year.
Okay.
So obviously this is a real busy time for our collections division because lots of folks wait till the end of the year to make their tax payments. So just wanted to remind folks that the deadline is coming up. It needs to be paid on or before January the 5th of 2017 in order to avoid interest charges.
Okay, January 5th, January 6th.
January 5th is the last day to pay without interest.
Okay.
Interest begins on the 6th.
Gotcha, okay. Now, we want to let people know how they can pay. Certainly there are a couple of different methods. First, by first coming to see you at the County Government Center and paying there, but tell us a little bit more.
Okay, obviously the easiest way to pay is just to put a check in the mail and mail it to our office address at 234 Northwest Corridor Boulevard.
Okay.
And we do encourage taxpayers to make sure they enclose their payment coupons along with the checks. But as you said, they can also come to the office. Obviously, it's a real busy time at the end of December, so we do caution folks to be prepared to stand in line. You'll probably have a little bit of a wait if you come to pay it in person, but a lot of folks obviously choose that method each year.
Okay.
Also, we do have online payments available. On our website, there's a link to our tax payment website, and people can pay with debit card, credit card, or e-check online.
Okay. So they e-check or debit, they can drop it in the mail, they can bring it directly to the tax office at the County Government Center.
Right.
I've always wondered, Harry, what if people have had a change or they've questioned their tax bill? Is that something that they should have been addressing in the last 6 months? How do they need to handle that?
Well, obviously the statutes do provide a period for appealing property values, but that generally occurs for real estate, it occurs in the spring of the year. For personal property, it's 30 days after the bill date, but at this point in the year, it's too late for appeal for this year, but we could always take a look at it and tell them what they need to do to appeal the value next year.
All right, very good. Now, the next thing we need to talk about is actual listing. What are our property holdings or things that we need to list?
Okay, personal property is required to be listed by the taxpayer during the annual listing period, which happens each January.
Okay.
It runs January 1st through the 31st. Obviously, we'll be closed on the 1st and 2nd due to the New Year holiday this year, so the 3rd will be the first day that folks can come into the office to list their property.
Okay. Anything that we need to know when we're doing that? Any directions?
Yes, we actually mail out pre-populated listing forms to all taxpayers that listed personal property the previous year. So if anyone listed in 2016, they should be receiving a form from our office in the mail. Usually goes out around a week or so before Christmas.
Okay.
If taxpayers have not listed in the past but need to list this year, they can contact our office or come by our office at the Government Center or call our office, and we can provide a listing form for them to use for the next year.
And what sort of things will people see on that listing?
Well, personal property would be things like boats and motors, manufactured homes, airplanes, unregistered motor vehicles. Of course, our registered motor vehicles are taken care of through the Tag and Tax Together program
Right.
now. I think I mentioned airplanes.
Right.
Business equipment, which would be things like computers, furniture and fixtures, machinery and equipment, those types of things.
Okay. Campers, RVs, trailers, or anything of that nature?
Permanently tagged trailers would need to be listed annually also,
Okay.
because those aren't taxed through the Tag and Tax Together program. Most anything that has an annual tag that's renewed each year would be through the Tag and Tax Together.
Okay.
Anything else would need to be listed annually.
All right, very good. And then you have got something on the horizon that I know must be a monumental task for your office. Tell us what's coming up.
Well, as most everybody knows, it's been in Onslow County for a while. We do a 4-year annual property revaluation, and our last one was January 1st of 2014. So our appraisal staff has been very busy, as you can imagine. Basically, we're always in reval mode, so to speak, but it does get a little more intense during that last year. But our next property revaluation is coming up January 1st of 2018.
Okay. And what will that look like a little bit for folks who are maybe new to the area or are new property owners and don't really know what to expect?
Well, basically what happens, personal property is valued annually every year, but real estate is only valued based on market value once every 4 years.
Okay.
So at that point in time, our appraisal staff is tasked with analyzing recent real estate sales transactions, looking at all the different property characteristics, property types, and coming up with a new assessed value that's more reflective of the current market conditions for that point in time.
Okay. And again, we're going to have you back definitely in the coming months as you gear up for reval, as you lead into from 2017 and then into 2018. But that's something that we just need to kind of have on our radar a little bit that's going to be coming up in the next year.
Right. And one thing I would like to mention too, there is another mailer that we're going to be sending out in December, which will just go out to the real estate folks. So
Yes, sir.
personal property folks will get their listing form, but we do want to provide information to the real estate owners also to make them aware of listing requirements. Obviously, we're a very transient community, and we may have folks that have moved into the area that may have a boat but not know about the listing requirements. So if they own real estate, they'll be getting this mailer from us. But we also in that document kind of go through the listing requirements, but in addition to that, we ask real estate folks or give them an invitation, if you would, to look at our property record site to verify that the property characteristics that we have on file for their property are accurate. Obviously, when we're doing the revaluation, it's very important to make sure our data is accurate. So there's a link in there to our property record site. So we ask real estate folks to go on and look at their property characteristics, and if there's any discrepancies as far as maybe the year build or the square footage may be off a little bit, to contact our appraisal department and let us know so that we can get those issues taken care of prior to the revaluation.
So that everything is as accurate as possible.
Absolutely, yes ma'am.
All right, well, very good. Well, Harry, you have brought us a great deal of information as we are closing out 2016. And as always, if folks have questions, tell us how we can best reach you.
Our main phone number for the office is area code 910-989-2200.
All right, well, very good. Well, Harry Smith, as always, thank you for joining us and wishing you a very happy holiday season and a happy new year.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is Jennifer Montefort with Onslow County Animal Services. Jennifer, we're so glad to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you are here to talk with us about pet care, especially during the winter season and the holiday season, things we need to be mindful of. And the first thing we want to talk about is the weather, because we know it can change from day to day here in eastern North Carolina in the wintertime. It'll be 50 one day, 80 the next, and down to 17 the next.
Yes.
So talk with us a little bit about those special precautions we need to take with our furry family members.
So certainly with the winter weather, we want to be careful to make sure our pets are safe. So we don't want to be leaving them outside in the colder weather. If it's too cold for us, just be aware that it's too cold for our pets. So besides regular bathroom breaks, daily exercise, we don't want to be keeping them outside for long periods of time.
Okay. Now, what about those who might be in the community who do have outdoor pets, either dogs or cats? Special precautions we can do in terms of setup there?
We do want to make sure that they have shelter.
Okay.
Use things like hay to keep them warm. Of course, we do want to see them inside if we can, but if they are outside, we want to be protecting them.
Okay, so protecting them from the elements, proper bedding. Otherwise, let's just be inside, snuggled up, just like we are.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got our winter care. What about with the holidays coming up? There's just so much activity, and if our kids are excited, our pets are excited too. So talk a little bit about what we can do to keep them safe. And let's start with just decorations, things like plants and the ornaments and things.
Yes, we want to be making sure that our decorations are secure, trees are anchored, keep them out of the way of our pets. They can be tempting as toys. I had a cat climb a tree, so we want to make sure that our trees are anchored so they're not coming over and harming our pets, and decorations as well. We want to keep candles and wires out of the way and keep our animals safe.
You know, one of the things that I have heard about pets doing, and it is actually, if you have a live tree, getting in that water basin where the tree is secure and even drinking the water, which may have chemicals in it as tree preservatives.
Yes, we want to, it's always good to cover that up, maybe some foil or netting, something like that, keep that out of reach. And we want to consider other holiday plants as well. So things like poinsettias, mistletoe, holly, and some types of lilies can be toxic for animals. So keeping those out of the home if we have pets.
All right, very good. So the other big thing with the holidays certainly is food, and we've got lots of sweets around, lots of chocolate. Of course, foods that are tempting to us and tempting to them too.
Correct. We want to keep those out of reach, and it can be tempting to share with our furry friends, but it can cause stomach upset. So we want to keep them to their pet treats.
Okay, and there are lots of great things to choose from. I mean, I see things out in the stores that are geared for our pets as well, so they can
absolutely.
The Santa can come see them too, but make sure it's appropriate.
Correct.
All right, and then we want to talk about certainly, it's really tempting. I mean, everybody has asked for a puppy for Christmas, but there are different ways that this can happen for us to make that the right kind of match. What is the best way if we're considering bringing a pet home for the holidays?
We absolutely want to encourage adoption, of course, and through the shelter. We have lots of amazing animals. They're waiting for a home, but we do want the decision to be informed. Do your research. Understand which animals will be best for your lifestyle, for your living arrangement, and for what the future holds for you.
Okay, so maybe not, bringing that puppy home on Christmas morning and saying surprise, but to plan more either before the holidays or just after the holidays when things have settled down. And you all give families such a great opportunity to really engage with a pet before you make that final decision, because it is a huge, huge decision to bring that new family member there.
Sure, and it's a responsibility, and we want it to be a lifelong responsibility. Exactly. So when you do come into the shelter, we do give you ample opportunity to interact with the animals, answer any questions that you may have, and any concerns you may have bringing a pet home.
Awesome. Now, finally, and certainly not least, is we can be elves in our own way in the community for animal services. How can we bring a little bit of holiday cheer to the pets who are there at the animal services offices?
So we always gladly accept donations at the shelter, but this year, we started this last year, we started a donation drive for the holidays. So on December 1st, we'll be starting to distribute holiday boxes throughout the community. We will post the locations on Facebook, okay, and we'll have those out, as well as our donation needs lists, where people can have convenient places to drop off donations for the shelter.
Okay, now what sort of things will we see on your wish list?
We always are in need of things like kitten chow, puppy chow, bleach, cat toys, things like that.
Okay, so anything that we might consider for our own pets certainly would be appreciated by Animal Services.
Absolutely, and if you have any questions, you can always contact us. We will have our wish list posted on our Facebook page, and again at all those donation locations we'll have those posted.
And finally, a lot of times during the holiday season, our young people are at home and have a little bit of extra time to give, or we've maybe made a decision for in the new year that we want to give more of our own selves, our own time. What about volunteering with Animal Services?
We love our volunteers at Animal Services. You do have to be 16 years of age,
okay,
but we welcome you to come in. We do have a brief orientation, and once you attend the orientation, you're able to come in and donate any time that you have.
Well, Jennifer, we thank you for everything that you do. I mean, when I see your adoption events, when I see, the smiles on your patrons' faces when they've made that family connection, that perfect match on your Facebook site or on your website, it's just heartwarming to see all the work that you do. If people want to know more, if they want to make a donation, if they want to volunteer, what's the best number for them to reach you, and how else can they find out more about what's going on?
Okay, they can always find out more information on our Facebook page, as well as by calling the shelter at 455-0182. And they may call me directly at 937-1168.
Well, awesome. Well, Jennifer Montefiore, thank you so much, and happy holidays to you and all of those furry family members.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
As always, we want to thank you for joining us for Onslow County Today, and a special thank you to each of our guests, Lisa Ryder, Carolyn Dunlap, Jennifer Montefiore, Karen Moore, and Harry Smith. As we close out 2016, we look forward to 2017 and all of the things that you can find in your Onslow County today.